Greetings and salutations, yet again, Earthlings. It is Monday, March 10th. It's 10:16, and I'm puttering around and I'm having my coffee and I'm trying to get motivated and situated and trying to flow solutions to all the things that I need to get accomplished that I'm able to do on my own without. Because for me to be able to get things situated so I can get figured out about my car situation and my living situation, as I have to get situated and I gotta find a new living situation. I gotta find a vehicle situation solution. So, which, I mean, this staying here at my son's was only temporary anyway until my money comes through so I could get my tiny homestead. So, with the lawsuit stuff going on, which, you know, they're being positive and they're saying the fall there's going to be movement on it and payments starting, and I am absolutely believing that's going to come through like it's supposed to. But until then, I'm not going to stress and worry about it. And I know that I need to find solutions and resolutions to my current issues. And no, I refuse to be a hobosexual. Although I could very easily do that. That's been made very clear from the get-go. I could very easily be a hobosexual. But I cannot. I gotta live with me. And I'm not gonna use and abuse anybody else. Or mislead anybody else. That's the part right there. I'm not misleading anybody else. But I am not settling for less than my next relationship is. I'm gonna be wifey for lifey, cherished and adored, or by somebody that shows up. And I can feel God loving me through them. And my energy and my nervous system, just all of me feels safer and healthier just being around them because they bring out the best in me. And I can feel God loving me through them because God is showing up as them, choosing me because they feel like I bring out the best in them too. And if I cannot have that, I'm not settling again. I'm not settling for more trials and tribulations and hard, ucky lessons because somebody else is not healed. And I recognize that I have learned those lessons and I'm not repeating those with them. And it's no offense to them. It's just we're not on the same journey. No harm, no foul. But that is not presently where I'm at in life. And that... So, anyway, and that's where I'm feeling those energies right now. I'm just saying, excuse me. I've been crying because I'm releasing ucky energies that I have been thinking about. Like one of the things that, listening to my YouTube stuff, always, I'll listen to my YouTube stuff while I've got music playing in the background. So it's like multitasking while I'm puttering around. And so I'll turn the music up where I can hear it over the headphones. Anyway, reel it back in. Mother wounds lately. That was one of the things that I was reminded of while I've been flowing the last couple... Well, I mean, that's been going on for months. The mother wounds, that's another thing that keeps circling back weirdly. And of course, with it being the anniversary of the Salem witch trials and all those innocents murdered for whatever horrible, horrific, yucky, energetic, whatever nasty things that has been going on for centuries, throwing off the energies and the negative siphoning of ucky energies for whatever purposes because they're unable to sustain their own life without, in any shape, form, or capacity that is loving or kind, based on healthy, beautiful nurturing that grows into the best. There's some that can only operate in the negative. That's the only way that they're able to exist. So, and anyway, and that's only through invoking fear. Anyway, stop giving them power and life. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's why Jesus said, fear not, fear not, fear not. Anyway, reel it back in. Mother wounds. So something, as part of my purging and learning and stuff, you're supposed to tune into your body. And a lot of times, I am wondering how much, and it says that when you tune into your body, that tells you where things are affecting your system, your nervous system, that needs healed, and where you hold your trauma. And honestly, one of my biggest guilts in life has been absolutely not, when it comes to my kids, having the stress and strain of being a military wife and holding things down when you got, when you've got a husband that was in the Gulf War. So, now, admittedly, my husband at the time was in the Air Force, and he did not have to be in the thick of fighting, but I knew what area he was involved in the military, and the capacity for the information that he had access to be really horrific to understand and comprehend. Because he had it was in cryptographic maintenance and installation, so he went all over the world during the time that everything was switching over to fiber optics. The internet was just coming online heavy and being utilized. And so he had access to levels of top secret information other people absolutely cannot freaking comprehend. And some people So sometimes I wondered, because the people that he come from are amazing. They're wonderful. They're wonderful people, every one of them. His mother, his father, his grandmother, both grandmothers. Even though one was very, very stoic, she was a grade school teacher. She was very small, but very intimidating. Of all of them, the smallest one was the most intimidating, and I'm telling you, woo, did my babies get that quality from her. You get to a certain point, that backbone, because both grandmothers, when their marriages, the one was widowed and the other one was divorced, and when they became single, either widowed or divorced, they never remarried. So I always found that interesting. But yeah, the one that was the school teacher, and the other one was a nurse. But the one that was a school teacher, despite the fact that I quit high school, she loved getting my letters. She loved writing back and forth to me. And she never got on to me about my grammar or the way that I formed my sentences, because I had a unique writing style, I thought anyway, and conveying happenings and stuff anyway. But yeah, she was a very, you talk about a stickler. she did not tolerate ignorance. Anyway, reel it back in. Mother wounds. So lately, I've been tuning into my body and feeling where I feel stuff. And one of the things is, because I've survived cancer, 2 heart attacks. I just completely walked them. The first one was worse than the second one. But the signs were different. But with the second one, making it clear, oh, well, frick, this is a heart attack. Because women's heart attacks appear different than men's a lot of times. Anyway, so I, of course, being me, the stuff come across my timeline at such a time that I was supposed to notice it, and I was like, oh, okay. So the next time, that was after I'd already walked off the first heart attack. It was during the ex-husband's father's funeral. That was a tough time. And I was trying to get his mom a plate because, well, she just lost the love of her life. God bless her, And no, me and him weren't meant to be husband and wife, and I shouldn't have gone into that. And I did that to honor both his parents because, well, she wanted her husband that was dying of Alzheimer's, but he did have moments of clarity. She wanted him to go knowing that their son was healthy and loved and going to be fine, and because she didn't last long after him. Anyway, yeah, I was trying to fix her a plate and trying to get through the funeral, and it was... Anyway. Mother wounds. Yeah, this was the first heart attack. And I dug in and I gritted my teeth. And I was like, not now. I had sweat rolling off of me. And I gritted my teeth and I said, no, we will not be doing this now. This is not a convenient time. So anyway. And then the second one was like, I think we need to turn around and go to the ER right now. Anyway. So, alright, mother wounds. Reel it back in, Michelle. Get that point made. Alright, so we start holding things in. Like, you ever notice the tension? It's usually in your neck. Right there at the base of your spine. The connection between your head and your body. Tension. I'm trying not to let this affect this. And I'm putting a stop to it right there at my neck. Because I don't want it affecting my body. It's the way I perceive that when I'm tuning in. It's like, okay, I gotta let that go. Oh, fear not, fear not, fear not. Alright, so here's one of the things I'm thinking was been marinating. The mother wounds. That karma we've been trying to play out. Because honestly, it wasn't just Jesus that had to go through. Yeah, God gave his only begotten son. And that was one thing to spiritually have to deal with. But Mary had to watch the child of her body that she grew beneath her heart. And this touchable, tangible, treated like that. And that mother wound. That child she fed. That she nourished, and she grew beneath her heart, and she fed from her own body. And when you feed that baby in their clothes, and you gaze into their eyes as they're eating, that bond and that life force being flowed from your body to that child, it's a pain. Oh, the pain. Because we're supposed to go first. You're never supposed to watch your child. Oh, Lord, that was my hardest when my son was born. And they took him within... it didn't even seem like... Yeah, it wasn't even 12 hours later, it seemed like. Hold on. Let me think timing-wise. It was a little over 12 hours later that they came to took him to have his... Now, I know this is silly and it's not supposed to hurt them, but he was barely even old and they went to circumcise him. And I know it was supposed to be for the healthiest of him and heal him quicker. But honestly, the idea of him being hurt that quick, I was boo-hooing and bawling, and I didn't bring this baby into this world to be hurt. I was a mess, and the nurses were like, oh, honey. They were, bless her heart, because my hormones, of course. So anyway, yeah, that was rough. Boo-hooing and crying because my baby was hurt. And that quick into this world, he got hurt. And it was horrible. And I know that was traumatic for my dad when he went to get his tonsils out at like somewhere between 6 to 9 years old. And they didn't tell him they were going to circumcise him. Yet he wakes up in his tonsils, but it's hurting down there. What in the... And yeah, he freaked the frick out about that. It's like, this has nothing to do with my downtown private business, the job. What? Yeah, and that was where his healthy dislike of doctors and their sneaky stuff come from. At a very young age. Anyway, the mother wound. So yeah, I'm thinking one of my things with my children was I wanted to be... I always mothered myself in such a way as I was growing up that I would say, as I was experiencing things and noticing things, I would always note to myself, I will not do that. I won't treat my kids that way. We're not going to do that. That's something I'm not going to repeat. So I was always doing that. No, I'll never make my babies feel that way. Ooh, this is ugly. No, I'm not going to act like that to my babies. And I truly, my little weirdo self, remembered that. And I tried to honor that. I was always like that. I was always very precocious, very, very smart, very loving and sweet anyway. But one of the things I took to heart was I meant those things when I said it. And I very much tried. And when I wasn't able to come through, I took hardest on myself. So a mother wound, and you feel like you failed your children in some ways, because I was with my son first round of like the ADHD when that stuff was coming online, and I was trying not to put him on medications, but it got to the point talking to him, it's like, well, honey, you're having such a hard time. And talking with Dr. Franklin, who was wonderful. He was an old hippie. And seriously, he smelled like garlic, because you could tell he was a vegan or a vegetarian. He's an old hippie. And I know that he's probably smoked pot, and he was very, well, we'll try this. And during the summer times, I was like, Dr. Franklin, summer times, do we really need, if he's not in school, he doesn't want to take it, well, he knows his own body. If between you and him, if you think he doesn't need it, then we'll give him a break on the summer times when he's not in school, and then try it back when school starts and see how he does. So, and that's what we did until he felt like he got it under control, that he was able to sit there and study and not disrupt other children. So, but anyway, yeah, he was wonderful. Well, that child knows his own body. You're right, he does. So, and that the fact that I had that kind of pediatrician with my kids during the time that Tony and I were together and doing our best, because Tony was, like I said, the dad he didn't have to be. He was a wonderful stepdad. And absolutely, he was a wonderful daddy and granddaddy he didn't have to be. So, unfortunately, we just weren't able to. We were meant to be family, but he and I were not meant to be husband and wife long term. But he was meant to be their dad and granddad, and he was amazing. So, absolutely, when I lost him, that was hard. Anyway, mother wounds. So, for women, how do mother wounds manifest? Breast cancer and cervical cancer, or issues, woman issues, because they feel like they failed their children. Yeah, that hit me kind of hard, because that was one of the things I was always hardest on, because with my children, I wanted to breastfeed. I wanted to give them all the advantages. So I did the very best I could to do that. Unfortunately, as a Pisces and an empath, a very psychic, very profoundly psychic empath with the energies around me and absorbing, I feel like I am an automatic vacuum and transmuter, transformer, and transmitter. It's always on. It's almost like God uses part of my being as like a black hole to vacuum that up and right straight to him. Yeah. I really I feel that, seriously. But yeah, I think the mother wounds, I think that's where a lot of it. And I really think a lot of females truly need to, because we are hardest on ourselves as moms with them babies a lot of times. I know I am. I can't speak for all women, but I wonder if that is truly a deep-seated guilt. Because we always want better. I know I do. For my babies. Oh, I love them. I do not want them to... I mean, I know that we all have to learn our lessons, but I know that we can learn them quicker, smarter, faster, better, without having to truly suffer the physical pain ourselves. We can learn through empathy. It's like, wow. Yeah. Truly. Yeah. Instead of hard-headed, I have to feel it and experience it myself to know. I mean, dang, sometimes I know that we got to get to that point to truly understand, but I don't think all the absolute nasty shoo evil yuck is necessary to learn these lessons quicker, faster, smarter. Anyway, yeah, mother wounds. The storing up of guilt within our body. Yeah, I didn't realize how guilty I felt about not being able to feed my babies from my body the way that I wanted to. Because, I mean, seriously, I was not raised to nurse from mom. I was bottle fed. We're not doing that. She was, some women are, not comfortable with that. But I very much wanted to give them the advantages. So anyway, and I for one was, anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at with today's flu thus far. I just wanted to get that notated. I'll be circled back. I didn't write it down. I just wanted to make sure I made the notation of the mother wounds and how we store it in our body and what that is when you get out and working through things and rooting out the bitter roots of all the stuff and the pains and yuck stored within your bodies. It's usually associated with something you need to truly heal and release, so that it has no power over you to make you sick in any shape, form, or fashion. Because I am determined every bit of this body is going to be healthy and healed, and all of my days that I'm on this earth, I love every bit of this amazing me vehicle that's made up of everything that my ancestors went through and survived so that I could be here. They're good and they're bad, but it's up to me to perpetuate what I'm going to continue. And it's not going to be any perversions of love. I want to be the best parts of all of my ancestors that came before me, and take the good from what they went through and overcome their uck, so that we continue on healthy and better and bringing out the best in them. That's the best me I can be, while I'm trying to become an even more beautiful reflection of God. Staying in my peace, helping to comfort and secure every moment in love and kindness. Security. I want security. I want a secure, safe place to love and be loved. And what do? If your peace is disturbed, if you're like in a movie theater, what happens? They'll send a security person in there to evict whoever's disrupting the movie in progress. Security, exit them stage left. And that's what I want in my body. Whatever is within me that's not secure and healthy, well, security's coming in, isolating it, and exiting it out of my body one way or another. It's not allowed to stay. This body is a safe haven to love and be loved, and anything that's not is not allowed to be in it. It has to go. That's the way I'm feeling things. Anyway, that's the way today's flow is going. Oop, 10:44, March 10th. I love y'all. I hope you're loving you. Be kind.